3 p.m. on a Friday, I pulled into my driveway with flowers in one hand and a unicorn plush in the other, ready to surprise my little girl for her birthday. Instead, I was accused of trespassing at my own cabin. The HOA president dialed 911 on me right there in front of my neighbors, and when my father finally stepped outside, she froze like she'd seen a ghost. Act 1, the start of trouble. I'd left Denver early. A cybersecurity contract could wait, but Sophie's 9th birthday couldn't. Her mom, Lisa, passed away 3 years ago, and ever since I've tried to make birthdays sacred. Lisa always said, "No excuses on birthdays, you show up." So I wrapped the job early, bought Sophie her favorite stuffed unicorn, and drove home grinning like a fool. But the scene that greeted me, it was chaos. There she was, clipboard clutched like a weapon power suit, pressed sharp, shouting orders as if she were running a military operation. Neighbors clustered around phones out whispering. My dad's rental car sat in the drive. He'd borrowed it while his was in the shop here to check storm damage for me. That explained the strange car. What didn't make sense was why this woman was treating my property like a crime scene. I stepped out of my truck, birthday gifts in my arms. She spun around and pointed that clipboard straight at me. "You need to leave immediately. This is an HOA matter. We're evicting squatters." Squatters. I laughed, confused. "This is my house. That's my dad's car. What the hell are you talking about?" She narrowed her eyes, lips curling. And then she pulled out her phone, dialing 911, never breaking eye contact. "Yes, dispatch, I've got trespassers threatening me." I stood there stunned, holding flowers like an idiot. My neighbors knew me. The mailman knew me. Hell, even the pizza guy knew me. But Chloe, that's her name. Chloe looked at me like I was a con artist staging some elaborate squat. And then, like fate, Sophie's tablet appeared in the cabin window. She'd propped it up for a school project. The camera was recording, capturing every insane second. Dad finally walked out, calm as ever, a steady presence. "What's going on here?" he asked. Chloe faltered for the first time, recognition flashing across her face. "My father, Ted Morrison, retired county judge. A man cops respected, a man criminals feared." But Chloe didn't back down. She barked at the officers when they arrived, waving HOA rules like scripture. She was determined to make this spectacle real, no matter how absurd it got. And when her clipboard snapped in half, mid-rant papers scattering like confetti, the neighbors went silent. For the first time, she looked rattled. That should have been the end. But Chloe wasn't the type to quit. Act 2. Escalation and the twist. Her car got towed that day, expired registration. The irony was rich, watching the HOA queen scream about rules while her own car broke them. But if I thought humiliation would slow her down, I was wrong. That night my phone buzzed with banking alerts. Password changes, transfers, my savings draining like water through a sieve. My stomach knotted. It wasn't coincidence, the timing was too perfect. Oliver, my neighbor and cybersecurity guy, showed up pale-faced. "Dan, I traced it. The digital fingerprints go straight back to Chloe's house. This wasn't random fraud. She came after you." I wanted to scream, to smash something. Instead, I sat at the kitchen table, head in my hands, while Sophie slept upstairs. The house felt smaller, heavier. Emma's memory haunted me. Maybe Chloe was right. Maybe I brought this on us. My choices, my career, my enemies. I looked at Sophie's birthday gifts still unopened on the counter. What kind of father lets his little girl grow up in the crossfire of HOA lunatics and vendettas? For a moment I thought about packing it up, selling the cabin, disappearing somewhere safe. But then Dad laid a folder on the table. Old environmental survey maps from the 1970s, his father's work. "Look at this," he said. The casino development Chloe was pushing. It sat right on top of a spillway system. One bad storm and the whole neighborhood could flood. She knew it, and she hid it. Suddenly, it clicked. This wasn't just HOA harassment. This was bigger organized fraud targeting military families like mine, people with weak community ties, easy prey. Chloe wasn't acting alone. She was part of something much darker. That realization flipped a switch inside me. This wasn't about me anymore. It was about Sophie, about families like ours, about justice. So we set a trap. Cameras, live stream, backup power. We let Chloe think she'd won, that her intimidation worked. And then we waited. Act 3. The showdown. It didn't take long. She came back, clipboard replaced by a crowbar. Two men in hoodies trailed behind her, their hands twitching near weapons they barely concealed. The glow of dawn leaked through the trees as Chloe marched toward my cabin like it was her kingdom to claim. "Open up!" she screeched, slamming the crowbar against the doorframe. The live stream counter ticked up into the thousands. Neighbors peeked through curtains, phones recording. Inside Shadow and Luna, our dogs growled low, steady, waiting for my signal. Sophie hid upstairs, clutching her unicorn. My dad stood firm behind me, arms crossed, the old judge in his element. The door shuddered, wood splintering. Chloe stormed in, hair wild, eyes blazing. "This is my authority. You're done here." I stepped forward, voice calm but loud enough for every microphone to catch. "Chloe Walsh, HOA President. You are trespassing in my home with intent to harm in front of 8,000 live viewers." Her face twisted. "You destroyed everything military families like yours take and take." One of the men raised his weapon, aiming at my dog. That was it. "Shadow Luna," I commanded. They launched years of training, snapping into action. One man went down, hard, weapon skidding across the floor. The other screamed, pinned by 160 pounds of snarling muscle. Chloe froze, clipboard clattering uselessly. "Call them off!" she shrieked. I locked eyes with her. "You wanted an audience. You got one." The cops flooded in moments later, Officer Stone among them, the same man who'd testified in my father's courtroom. He looked from me to Dad to Chloe, foaming at the mouth, and shook his head. Chloe tried to argue, tried to spin it. "I'm the HOA president. I was enforcing the rules." But the live stream was undeniable. The evidence, the hacks, the casino fraud, the threats, all of it collapsed around her. When the cuffs clicked on her wrists, she finally cracked. "Victor will avenge me," she screamed some shadowy name from her network. But nobody cared. The Queen of Pine Ridge was finished. Ending line. Bullies thrive on fear, but the moment you stop running, they lose everything.